Hello, I'm JP from Singapore. When I retired at 47 years old, I thought early retirement would be simple. Sleep in, travel, enjoy life. But 7 months in, I've realized it's not that straightforward. Retirement has different phases, and they don't always happen in order. This is my honest account of navigating each stage, the surprises I've encountered, and what I'm still learning about what it means to step away from work and into something entirely new. According to Dr. Riley Moynes, there are 4 main phases of retirement. Phase 1 is what we call the vacation phase, the honeymoon period, which is full of freedom, travel, and excitement. Everything feels new and liberating. This is then followed by phase 2, called the lost phase, when the novelty fades and you start to feel a sense of loss of identity or structure. The questions also get harder. This is then followed by phase 3, the trial and error phase, when you experiment, rediscover yourself, and build a new rhythm. Finally, we have phase 4, the reinvention phase, where you find renewed purpose, often through giving back. This is where fulfillment deepens. Understanding these stages helps us set realistic expectations and prepare us for the emotional journey ahead. According to Dr. Riley, true success in retirement happens in phase 4, when you use your freedom to contribute in meaningful ways. But reaching that stage usually takes time, reflection, and patience. How has my journey been 7 months into early retirement? The first few months honestly felt like a long exhale, a deep breath I didn't realize I had been holding on for years. I traveled 3 times with my family, spent more time with my parents, and we've got another trip coming up at year end. For the first time, I could truly experience guilt-free travel. No work emails to check, no anxiety about catching up when I got back. It was everything I had imagined: freedom, space, and a quiet relief from the constant chase of deadlines. However, there's also a social side to retirement people rarely talk about. I've realized retirement is actually a kind of social good, best enjoyed when both husband and wife retire together, so they can embrace this freedom side by side. In my case, my husband is still working to build up a bit more financial buffer, so my days are quieter. It can get and feel a little lonely compared to couples who enter this phase together and really get to enjoy that vacation stage more intensely. Still, I'm grateful. I've reconnected with a friend who actually retired 2 years before me. It has been meaningful to learn from his experience. Most of my peers are still grinding away in the corporate system, which reminds me how fortunate I am to have this space, even if I'm navigating it mostly alone. I've also realized that early retirement feels very different depending on personality. For introverts like myself, it often comes more naturally. We are comfortable spending long stretches of time alone, reading, thinking, creating, and solitude feels like recharging rather than isolation. For extroverts though, it can feel challenging at first. Without the daily interactions, team energy, or workplace action, the sudden quiet can be unsettling. For me, the calm and quiet have actually been restorative, a space to think deeply, live slowly, and finally breathe without deadlines. After the initial honeymoon phase, reality begins to set in. This is phase 2, the lost stage. Without the structure of a full-time job, the days suddenly feel wide open, which sounds wonderful at first, but also takes getting used to. Overnight, you gain back 40 to 50 hours a week, and now you need to decide how to fill them meaningfully. One of the hardest parts of this adjustment has been the shift in identity. For over 2 decades, my life revolved around goals, meetings, and results. That constant rhythm of being productive every day. Now, without that structure, I sometimes catch myself feeling unproductive even lazy. And when you step away from the working world, you also lose a certain kind of social validation. The titles, the recognition, the sense that what you do is important. It's something many people don't talk about after they retire early. You go from being constantly in demand to having to define your own sense of purpose. In this lost phase, some people find it too hard to adjust and choose to return to work, not out of financial need, but to feel useful again, to regain that sense of validation. In my case, I began to create gentle routines. Most mornings begin with exercise. I'll be on my spin bike, working out with weights, often watching Netflix. I've realized that health is the true foundation, the truest form of wealth. Without good health, time freedom doesn't really mean much. I'll then enjoy my morning coffee while catching up on market and financial news. Old habits die hard. I still like reading company reports and analyzing my investments, but now I can do it at my own pace without the pressure or deadlines that used to come with work. Twice a week, my husband and I attend one Pilates and one spin class together. It's something we both enjoy, a shared activity that keeps us healthy and connected, and also part of our date nights too. Weekends are usually spent with family. We visit each side of our parents on alternate weeks, have meals together, catch up, or just spend simple time. These rituals, daily workouts, couple classes, and family weekends anchor my week and help create a gentle rhythm to my days. They remind me that retirement isn't about doing nothing. It's about designing how you want your days to feel. But even with this structure, there's still an adjustment socially. Neighbors notice I'm home more often and ask, "Working from home today?" Friends usually say, "Good to take a break before you go back to work." Most people can't quite imagine that I've actually retired, that I'm not working permanently at this age. I don't correct them, because this stage isn't about convincing others. It's about becoming comfortable with my own rhythm and my own version of what's next. Once my routine felt stable, I started to ask myself, what now? Even after leaving corporate life, I never lost the instinct to share ideas and to help others plan better for their future. That part of me didn't actually retire. So, starting this YouTube channel, Ikigai Living SG, felt like the most natural next step, a way to channel what I've learned, both before and after FIRE, into something that could help others. It's also my way of giving back. Over the years, I've always enjoyed sharing financial tips with friends, especially around personal finance, investing, and retirement planning. Going online allows me to share those lessons with more people on my own timing, my own terms, and topics that genuinely interest me. It has also opened up new connections with others in the FIRE community, people who have reached financial independence or are on their own journey towards it. There's a sense of shared understanding that's hard to find elsewhere. Ikigai Living SG keeps me mentally engaged, creative, and connected, without needing to return to the 9 to 6 grind or the constant stress that used to come with it. Having this channel also gives me a gentle sense of structure again. I try to publish one new video each week, unless I'm traveling, sharing something from my own experience that I hope can benefit others. It's not about numbers or metrics, but about giving my week a rhythm and a sense of purpose. One of the biggest insights about early retirement, you don't stop contributing, you just learn to contribute differently. For some, that might mean volunteering for causes they believe in. For others, it's mentoring or taking on part-time consulting to share years of experience. And for many, like me, it could mean starting passion projects, exploring creativity, or simply giving back in ways that feel more meaningful. Work used to define how we add value to the world. But in this new chapter, contribution isn't measured by titles or paychecks. is measured by purpose. In my case, I still have unutilized Skills Futures credits, and I plan to use them before the end of the year to learn something new that genuinely interests me. It's part of staying curious, keeping the mind active and open, even in this next stage of life. One unexpected joy has been rediscovering rest. I can take on an afternoon nap whenever I feel tired, something I couldn't do for more than 20 years. Back then, my mind was always racing with deadlines, responsibilities, and the next problem to solve. Now, for the first time, it's quiet enough to rest. And that stillness, that peace, might be one of the biggest gifts of early retirement. Finally, we have Phase 4, the Reinvention stage. This is the stage where you completely reinvent yourself and find new purpose through service. I'm not fully at this stage, but I can see as the direction I'm heading towards. For me, Ikigai Living SG is already part of this reinvention, aligning what I enjoy, what I'm good at, and what might help others. It also keeps me accountable as I navigate early retirement and my decumulation journey. By sharing what I've learned and the mistakes along the way, I hope others can take something useful for their own paths. As Dr. Riley said, real fulfillment in retirement comes when you find ways to be of service, to contribute, guide, or share in your own capacity. Because in the end, it's not about leaving work behind. It's about finding work that still gives life meaning on your own terms. And before I close, I also want to acknowledge something important. Not everyone gets to what is called the Phase 4, and that is perfectly okay. In fact, there are many retirees who will comfortably stay in what I will call Phase 1.5 loop, moving between the stages of freedom and exploration without ever feeling the need to reach that purposeful service phase. They might spend their time traveling, learning, reading, or picking up new hobbies, always discovering themselves, but without feeling the need to give back publicly or to find some grand new purpose, and that is completely valid. Some are naturally more private and they find peace in solitude and self-growth. Others simply want rest after decades of structure and responsibility. Some feel they have already contributed enough through their work or family and now just want to enjoy the freedom they have earned. I think that's another version of success, when you have found balance, curiosity, and peace, and you are living in a way that feels authentic to you. Retirement doesn't have to be linear. It's not a race to reach the next phase. What matters is finding the rhythm that fits you, whether that's giving back, creating, exploring, or simply living quietly and peacefully. I'm deeply grateful to be able to explore this phase in peace. We have increasingly read news of retrenchments across both global and local firms, and these no longer affect just those in their 40s or 50s. Even younger people are not spared, while fresh graduates are finding it tough to land good starting careers. With the rapid advancement of AI, job losses could become even more prevalent in the years to come. The idea of job security feels less certain than ever before. I've seen friends lose jobs, feeling anxious and uncertain, only to find new roles that come with even more stress. Others are in senior positions and they live with the constant worry of retrenchment, knowing how difficult it will be to find another role at a similar level or pay. And many of my friends are still chasing recognition, promotions, and bonuses, seeking the validation that once defined their worth. I understand that path well, but I've learned that satisfaction can come from quieter wins now. Financial independence gives me freedom from that anxiety, the ability to choose how I spend my time, focus on health, and live with purpose. As Sahil Bloom puts it, once financial wealth is secured, the next journey is about exploring the other forms of wealth, including time wealth, social wealth, physical wealth, and inner peace, part of mental wealth. 7 months in, I'm still learning. These 4 phases aren't linear. Sometimes I circle back to earlier stages, and that's perfectly normal. Retirement isn't a finish line. It's an ongoing process of learning how to live with purpose and balance. For me, it's about aligning time, health, and purpose, and being grateful for the quiet moments in between. Because true success in retirement isn't about how early you stop working. It's about how meaningfully you live after. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a like. It helps more people to discover my content. I also love for you to subscribe to Ikigai Living SG. I share reflections on FIRE, early retirement, and finding purpose beyond work, all from a Singapore perspective. And finally, I would love to hear from you too. Which phase of retirement or financial independence do you think you are in right now? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your stories and learning from this community. Till then, have a great Ikigai day.